So, hi guys, we're going to get on here and review a few things about coordinate grids. Alright, so when we talk about the coordinate grid, we're going to be using these when we do transformations, when we do functions. This is a huge part of the 8th grade standards. So I want you to play. This is going to be very short, but I want you to go over it as many times as you can until you get the point, or till you understand the different types that are going on it. So we are going to have an x-axis and we will have a y-axis. Okay, so let's see what those look like. So on your coordinate grid, just remember when we're working on the coordinate grid that they always start with quadrant 1. Okay, and we also have the origin, and there's a little bit better picture on the next screen, but remember we talked about in class they're going to move counterclockwise. Okay, so your movements on the coordinate grid will go opposite of a clock. They're going to go counterclockwise. All right, and then if you move right on the x-axis, that's going to be positive. If you move up on the y-axis, that will be positive. But if you move left, negative, and down, negative. So those kind of issues, and I did use green for positive and red for negative. So that's something. Let's see what that kind of looks like. All right, so when we have your x-axis, again, they're going to move. And so when I have any coordinates, if they're in quadrant 1, let's say we're in quad 1, okay, so that means that my x is positive and my y is positive, because we always move right or left first. If I move then to quadrant 2, all right, so if I'm in quadrant 2, I go from the origin and I go left, right? So when I'm in that particular position, then my x is negative, but my y is positive because I'm still going up. All right, so then we're going to go to quad 3. And quad 3 is opposite of quad 1, so it's right over here. So that means I have a negative x and a negative y. Guys, if you will remember these or learn them, this is really, really going to help you with Unit 1. And then I have quad 4, which is right over here. So that's a positive move on the x-axis, but a negative move on the y-axis. Okay, so, and here's a little bit better picture for you to see that. This is important. Learn this, remember it, own it, all right? So let's talk about your movements. You always start at the origin, okay? That's at 0, 0. Always start at the origin. So we always start here in the middle at the origin, okay? Always start at the origin. Now, when you go from the origin, if your points are 3, 4, all right, then you are going to go to the origin. You're going to move across 3 or right 3, and then you will move up 4, and that's where you would put your point for that. So there are some examples here on how to move. They also show you the negatives, and it shows you how to go right, up, left, up. Remember, positive moves. So if it's a positive number, meaning it doesn't have a negative sign in it, positive numbers will go right, and they'll also move up. So if it's a positive x, it will move right. If it's a positive y, it's going to move up. And then if you have negative coordinates, whether it's your x or your y, if it's a negative x, negative will move left. If it's a negative y, it will move down. So let's just go through. Keep those in mind, guys. Play this as many times as you need to. I will get into more detail next week when we do Unit 1. We're going to go back through this, but these are some things that is really important for you guys to like own, memorize, know it, own it. All right? Thanks, guys.